an amusing extinction? In his 1985 book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, American social commentator Neil Postman provided a critical analysis of the dystopian novels 1984 by George Orwell and Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Postman argued that while Orwell's novel warns of externally imposed oppression, Huxley's vision is even more relevant to our current age. According to Postman, Orwell feared a future where books would be banned and information would be concealed from the masses. On the other hand, Huxley's fear lay in a society where there would be no reason to ban books because people would lose their desire to read. Instead, they would become passive and consumed by an endless stream of distractions and technologies that hinder critical thinking. Postman suggested that our society has decayed because individuals passively accept their own oppression and have become preoccupied with trivialities. He warned us that our love for technology and distractions may ultimately lead to our downfall as we become a culture devoid of depth and critical thinking. Though Postman passed away more than 20 years ago, his observations about distractions leading to a decay in society characterized by passivity and a lack of critical thinking are as relevant as ever. Perhaps even more so in this age where our consciousness has been colonized by the machines. Addiction to outrage porn. Author and blogger Pete Ross points out that we love being angry because it makes us feel smart. Being angry about oppression and injustice makes us believe we're more moral and more compassionate than others. Our online outrage may also create the illusion that we know better than others how to run the world. In fact, many of us couldn't even run a lemonade stand. When we call others Nazis and bigots, we fail to realize that most of the time this is merely our opinion, not a fact. Cartoonist and author Tim Kreider also notes that outrage makes us feel good. However, he writes that over time, it devours us from the inside out. Though we typically refuse to acknowledge that it's a pleasure, projection can consume us like any toxic addiction. Kreider was a political cartoonist during the Bush administration and came to loathe Bush and the Republican Party. But over time, he realized that his general level of anger was becoming toxic. It was just one event that shifted Kreider out of his incessant state of outrage and projection. It was the 2009 incident, made famous in the Tom Hanks movie Captain Phillips, where Somalian pirates hijacked the Maersk, Alabama, in the Indian Ocean, off the coast of that African country. Kreider was incensed by the pirates having the gall to negotiate as if they were a nation state, and by the threat to take revenge on any Americans they captured in the future. He confessed that he felt a sanguinary satisfaction when the incident ended just the way a TV movie would, with US Navy SEAL snipers killing 3 of the pirates on the lifeboat they had used to flee the Maersk, Alabama, where they had taken Captain Phillips as hostage. The precise moment that shifted Kreider's sense of moral outrage was when he saw the lone surviving Somali pirate brought in manacles to the US. Suddenly, he saw not an arrogant and sociopathic pirate, but someone who looked a lot like a kid, captive in a place where he did not speak the language and knew not a soul. Kreider calls for a shift in culture and attitude, where instead of going online and denouncing others as a prime life focus, we instead actively work at bettering our own lives and the lives of those around us. Kreider writes, "We all have a sphere of influence in our lives, where the actions we take and the words we speak actually change things, where we can be an example for those closest to us. If we interact and speak with the people in our immediate circle in a way that makes them feel happy, valued, and important, that hopefully encourages them to make others feel the same. That's a powerful force for good." Here, Kreider is touching on the cascade effect created by neural synchronization. This is when your brain mirrors the structures of the people and systems around you. But it works both ways. Research indicates that the neurophysiology and the deep psyches of those around us are in turn impacted by our own attitudes, behaviours, and even our feelings. Therefore, the deep work we do on ourselves has a far greater impact than we may realise, even if nobody else consciously knows we're doing it. When we develop mental and emotional responsibility, when we choose to forgive those who have hurt us, and when we heal, we plant seeds for better human futures. Conversely, when we fail to do that inner work, we become the source of mental contagions that have an equally negative impact upon others and our society. Hello, Marcus T. Anthony here. If you're interested in the kinds of ideas you've encountered here, you'll love my new online Power and Presence course. The course purpose is to enable you to establish your unique, authentic self, what I call your deep self, and to live a life that truly reflects your highest potential, not what somebody else has told you what you should be. Each session has a specially designed meditation to help you embody your deep self. In the Power and Presence online course, you'll learn how to stand in the power of your deep self, how to develop embodied presence, making it possible for others to distract you from your desired future, how to intuitively set your most important life goals and develop the wise actions to achieve them, how to develop digital wisdom, the unshakable capacity to know yourself deeply and master our minds in the age of AI. The Power and Presence course is available right now. Links are in the description. See you there.